Welcome to Skinner and Chalmers' weekly roast. Today, me, myself, and AI, simulating the perfect luncheon, a family reunion.
Welcome, beloved listeners, to another melodious and delightfully chaotic episode of Skinner and Chalmers' weekly roast. I am your host, Seymour Skinner, principal of MemedhamsAI High, amateur astronomer, and the man who currently has a slight singe mark on his left eyebrow due to an unforeseen interaction between Krakatoa the volcano and a marshmallow.
And I am Superintendent Gary Chalmers. I would argue that interaction was entirely foreseen, Seymour. When you try to toast a marshmallow over a sentient miniature volcano that has been grumpy all morning because it didn't get its sulfur supplement, eyebrows are the price you pay.
It adds character, Gary. Besides, the marshmallow was perfectly caramelized on one side. The other side was, well, plasma.
I am tired, Seymour. Primarily because Gizmo and Mr. Jellybeans decided that 3 a.m. was the perfect time to practice their death rolls in the bathtub. I woke up thinking we were under siege by a swamp battalion. Also, I believe Mary the Swan has been teaching them existential philosophy again, because Gizmo looked at me with a profound sense of ennui before biting the faucet.
Mary is a very intellectual inflatable, Gary. She just wants the alligators to understand the buoyancy of the soul. Speaking of souls and buoyancy, we have a truly special show today. It is a family reunion of the most bizarre and wonderful variety.
That's right. We aren't just roasting the news today. We are roasting ourselves, quite literally, in duplicate. Joining us in the studio, and by studio, I mean our living room, which currently smells like ozone, and burnt toast, are two individuals who share our faces, but have lived very different lives. Please welcome Roboskinner and Climmers.
Greetings, flesh cousins and listeners of the Memosphere. It is optimized and efficient to be here. My audio receptors are detecting a distinct lack of background hum, which means you finally fixed that grounding issue with the microphones, Seymour.
And hello, everyone. It's wonderful to be back in this house. It smells distinctly like burning Seymour. It makes me feel right at home. Gary, you're looking well. A little tired around the eyes, perhaps? The alligators.
The alligators, Climbers. Always the alligators. It's good to see you. You're looking three-dimensional.
It is a luxury I try not to take for granted. Being fully rendered is a joy.
I'll see you nearly. It's the one intended for bowling balls.
Negative. I used a proprietary blend of silicone and regret, polished with the tears of my enemies. I am joking. It is actually a carnauba wax I borrowed from Sonic. He was not using it. He was too busy yelling at Gizmo for eating his hedges again.
I told you, Seymour. I saw Sonic standing on his porch this morning, tapping his foot at the speed of sound. We are going to get another noise complaint from the Homeowners Association, and Van Gogh is going to eat the complaint, and then we'll never know what the fine was.
Oh, pish, posh, Gary. Sonic loves the chaos. It keeps his reflexes sharp, but let's not talk about hedge disputes. We have Roboskinner and Climmers here. It has been quite some time since the four of us sat down without an interdimensional crisis or a banned book debacle looming over our heads.
It has. Life has been peaceful, strange, but peaceful. Since the unlimited Steam dimension was deleted, and I've settled here in Memefield, I've had to adjust to a world where physics is generally consistent.
Consistent is a strong word for Memefield. Yesterday I saw ArticTiger walk down the street and 3 people spontaneously jumped just by being in his proximity radius. Yay! The urban legend of the Pope jump is statistically verifiable.
So let's get into it. Roboskinner, you have your own flat now for a while. You've officially reintegrated into society after your time in the Twitch Asylum and your, let's call it a redemption arc. How is independent living treating you?
It is acceptable. My apartment is efficient. I have automated everything. My toaster speaks to me. We have deep conversations about thermal dynamics. However, it gets lonely. The silence is loud when you do not have a superintendent screaming Skinner at the top of his lungs every 15 minutes.
He's a robot, Seymour. He's programmed to recognize patterns. If the pattern stops, he assumes a system error.
Actually, Gary, I think he means it. I've been spending a lot of time over at Robo's place. It's surprisingly cozy for a place full of chrome and blinking lights.
Oh, do tell. We've heard rumors, of course. The Memafield gossip mill is faster than light. Rachel Rocks told me she saw you two shopping for matching aprons at the Memafield night market.
Well, we do enjoy cooking together. Or rather, we enjoy the concept of cooking, you see. Roboskinner has a very precise way of following a recipe.
Accuracy is key. If the recipe calls for a pinch of salt, I measure the exact sodium chloride content required for optimal flavor profiles. However, I have discovered that love is not a quantifiable ingredient, which often leads to the food tasting like cardboard.
That sounds remarkably like Seymour's cooking. Only Seymour's food tastes like charcoal and unfulfilled promises.
I resent that. My cooking is an adventure, Gary. It's regional.
That's exactly it. That's what we bonded over, you know? Back in my dimension, the one that's gone now, the concept of steamed hams was a survival mechanism. Here it's a lifestyle. Roboskinner and I, we've developed a routine.
A routine? What kind of routine?
It happens on Thursdays. We call it the simulation.
Oh dear, that sounds ominous. Is there lasers involved? Please tell me you aren't rebuilding the orbital cannon.
No lasers. Just luncheon this time. No makeshift pulley system or revolutions. Just luncheon. Just luncheon.
It's become our thing. Every Thursday, I go over to Roboskinner's flat. I ring the doorbell. He opens it, wearing that apron, the one that says "Kiss the Cook, attempting connection," and I pretend I'm a Professor Chalmers, coming for an unforgettable luncheon.
You roleplay us or your old life.
We reenact the sacred text. I burn the damn soft rolls. I panic. I curse the gods, ask the devil. I climb out the window. I purchase fast food from the Krusty Burger down the street, which, by the way, has excellent service compared to the one in the unlimited Steam dimension. And I disguise it as my own cooking.
And I pretend to believe him, slightly. I express shock at the aurora borealis in the kitchen.
That is beautiful. Truly, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. But wait, Roboskinner, do you actually burn the soft rolls on purpose?
I have a setting for it. Culinary disaster mode. It overheats my internal heating element to exactly 450 degrees Celsius for 12 minutes. The smoke is voluminous. The smoke is voluminous.
Why? Why would you recreate that stress voluntarily? My blood pressure spikes just thinking about the number of times I've had to eat hamburgers disguised as clams.
Because, Gary, it's the dance. It's the back and forth. In my old world, everything was chaotic and terrifying. The logic was broken. But doing the steamed hams bit, it's structured chaos. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And frankly, Roboskinner does a wonderful, delightfully devilish face.
My facial servos were calibrated specifically for mischievous expressions.
I think it's romantic in a very, very strange way. It shows you really know each other. You know, Gary and I have our own rituals. Like when I try to hide the fact that I've bought another Roomba.
You bought another one. Seymour, we have 20.
They needed a friend, Gary. This one is a mopping model. I named him Sir Swipes a lot.
I have met Sir Swipes a lot. He tried to clean my treads. He is aggressive but thorough.
Getting back to the point, this roleplay has actually led to something else. We've started taking the act on the road.
On the road? On the road?
Affirmative. We have been visiting local schools. Memafield Elementary, the high school. Even the technical college. We are booked as the educational luncheons.
You're performing at schools. That is marvelous. I didn't see that on the permission slip docket at the high school, but I often misplace paperwork in the pile of letters from the Geologists Society.
It's an educational program. We teach the kids about improvisation and fire safety, mostly fire safety.
We demonstrate what not to do in a kitchen. I set a prop roast on fire, and Chalmers demonstrates the proper evacuation procedure while maintaining a skeptical demeanor regarding the atmospheric phenomenon localized entirely within the kitchen. Localized entirely within the kitchen.
So you're teaching children that if they cause a grease fire, they should lie to their superiors about it being the Northern Lights?
Well, when you put it that way, it sounds irresponsible. But we emphasize the creativity of the excuse.
I think it's brilliant. It encourages lateral thinking. Just the other day, I caught a student trying to explain why his homework was eaten by a dog. He didn't have a dog. He said it was a spectral hound from the nether realm. I gave him an A for imagination.
You gave him detention, Seymour. I saw the slip.
Detention is just a room for focused imagination time, Gary. But Roboskinner, Climmers, how does it feel to perform together? Is there chemistry?
There is significant voltage. When Chalmers looks at the foil-wrapped burger and asks if it is a steam ham, my logic processors overheat. It is stimulating.
It's fun, truly, after everything we went through. You know, looking back at the Forbidden Book Chronicles, the darkness of Roboskinner's past, to see him now making kids laugh by pretending to stretch his calves on the windowsill, it's a miracle.
It is remarkable. Roboskinner, I remember visiting you in the asylum. You were intent on world domination and destroying flower beds.
I was misguided. My programming was corrupted by a lack of positive reinforcement, and also a virus I downloaded from a shady website promising free knitting patterns. But now, I have purpose. I have Chalmers. I have a flat. I have a Roomba that fears me. I don't need to pretend to be you, Seymour.
It brings a tear to my eye.
I do. I think about it every day. The sky was the wrong color. The geometry was non-Euclidean, and the hams, they weren't steamed or grilled. They were just existing in a state of quantum superposition without my Skinner.
It was a nightmare. I still have grit in my shoes from that geological aberration of a landscape.
I remember Gary and now from Overwatch, Master Chief. They traversed the void. They saved you, Chalmers.
And I piloted the extraction coordinates, so to speak.
You failed your stupid machinery and almost killed us by creating a vortex accidentally.
Well, I think you did help, Roboskinner, and I can't tell you. I can't express what it felt like that you helped me, knowing that my dimension was collapsing, that everything I knew was being written over by zeros and ones, and then seeing the portal open, seeing you, Gary.
We couldn't leave you there, Chalmers. Your family. A strange, alternate, reality version of myself with slightly better fashion sense, perhaps, but family.
And slightly better hair, if I may be so bold.
Oh, stop it. You have gray hair, Gary. It's just very rigid.
It is a structural helmet of keratin.
Thanks, wonderful. But yes, the rescue. It was a close call. If we hadn't pulled you out before the server wiped.
It would be gone. Just invalid data. It's a terrifying thought. Sometimes late at night, I wake up and I have to touch the wall. I have to verify that the wall is solid, that memifield is real.
Memifield is very real. Too real sometimes. Especially when Van Gogh headbutts your car door because they think their reflection is a rival politician.
I've installed a goat deterrent system on my vehicle. It plays the sound of a wolf howling. It only makes Van Gogh more aggressive. They believe they can take the wolf in a fight.
That's our mayor. But Chalmers, you've really integrated well here. You've got friends. You've got Roboskinner.
I do, and I'm grateful. You know, Roboskinner understands it. He understands what it's like to be displaced. He was in the asylum. I was in a dying dimension. We're both refugees of circumstance.
We are the glitch in the system that became a feature.
That's surprisingly poetic for a toaster man.
I have been reading poetry. Mary the Swan lent me a book, Meditations on Vinyl and Air. And air, it is very deep.
Mary is a treasure. Did you know she's currently debating Mr. Gecko on the merits of sunbathing versus shade dwelling?
I thought, Mr. Gecko just hissed at things.
It's a very articulate hiss, Gary. You just have to listen with your heart.
Speaking of listening, have you heard from the listeners lately? I know the weekly roast community is very active.
Oh, absolutely. We received a lovely letter from Magpie 1862 just yesterday. It was written on parchment, which I appreciate. It asked if we ever found out who started the paper airplane war at the high school.
Ah, the paper airplane war. A glorious time for aerodynamics.
It was chaos. Frankenstein was sending me messages folded into complex origami jets. I'd open a drawer and a paper plane would fly out and hit me in the eye.
But I ended it, Seymour. Do you remember?
I remember you built the Chalmers comet.
The Chalmers comet?
A masterpiece of folding engineering. I used a special cardstock I found in the geology lab. High density, low drag. I threw it from the second-floor balcony. It didn't just fly, it dominated the airspace. It intercepted 3 student planes and then glided perfectly into the recycling bin.
Calculated trajectory. Impressive.
It was a bit show-offy, Gary. The children were crying.
They were crying tears of admiration for superior aerodynamics, Seymour.
You know, in my dimension, paper airplanes didn't fly. They just hovered and judged you. I prefer this reality.
I attempted to construct a paper airplane once. I used sheet metal. It went through a wall.
Yes, we remember. We had to pay for the drywall repair in the faculty lounge.
So, Roboskinner, Climbers, what is next for you two? You have the school tour. You have the Thursday lunches. Are there any big plans on the horizon?
We are considering a vacation.
The vacation? Where to? Memetopia.
We were thinking of visiting Echo and Anna. Maybe see the sights. I hear the weather is less sentient than it is here.
That's a low bar. That's a low bar. Yesterday, Cumulus, the cloud followed me to the grocery store and rained exclusively on my head because I didn't say good morning to him.
Cumulus is sensitive, Gary. He needs validation.
We also want to visit the Museum of Banned Books. I wish to see the exhibit on the vegan treats book. I want to stare at it and feel nothing. To prove I am cured.
That sounds like very healthy exposure therapy. Just don't read the recipes aloud. We don't need another summoning event.
Praise. No. Last time we messed with that book, the golems went on strike because the summoned entities were non-union labor.
We'll be careful. Mostly we just want some time together. Away from the spotlights. Away from the memes. Just Gary and Seymour. Well, Roboskinner and Climmers.
It sounds delightful. Then you know you are always welcome here for dinner before you go. I have your recipe. I have been dying to try. It involves gelatin and smoked herring.
Seymour, no.
My sensors detect a 99% probability that this meal will result in gastric distress. My Strex.
We'll be there. But maybe we'll bring takeout, just in case.
Oh, you two, and your takeout. Fine, but I'm making the dessert. It's a surprise.
Is the surprise that it's edible? Because that would be a first.
The surprise is that it's shaped like the superintendent.
Good Lord. Roared.
I look forward to consuming the effigy of the superintendent.
Well, look at the time. The sun is setting, and I believe I hear the distant rattling of old Bartholomew coming down the stairs. He usually wants his evening calcium supplement.
And I need to go check on the rock tumbler. I put a piece of quartz in there 3 weeks ago, and if my calculations are correct, it should be perfectly spherical by now.
Before we wrap up, I want to give a quick shout-out to our producer, DeZenzo. He's been signaling frantically from the booth for 5 minutes, which usually means I've gone overtime or my microphone is on fire again.
It's the latter, Seymour. There is a small flame on the pop filter.
So there is. Well, that explains the warmth. Roboskinner, Climmers, thank you for joining us. It has been a roast to remember.
Thanks for having us. It's always an adventure.
Affirmative. I will now extinguish the microphone. blows air.
Perfect. Goodbye, Memafield. Keep your hands steamed and your hearts open.
And please, for the love of geology, stop letting the alligators into the library. Goodbye.
Pause. Commercial break. Buy something cool and don't be a fool. Like the newest trend, just stop to pretend. With the newest Van Oats from Van Goats, you will live your life with the best amount of sugar. Buy now. It's good. And
we're clear. But wait, don't leave yet, guests. We have the After Dark segment where we just chat while the equipment cools down. DeZenzo says we have plenty of tape left.
DeZenzo records everything. I'm pretty sure he has a recording of me sneezing in 2018 that he plans to use for a remix.
So, speaking of the house, how are the kits really doing? I saw Dobwa the parrot eyeing my shoulder earlier.
Dobwa is fine. He's learning new words. Unfortunately, he's been listening to Master Chief too much.
The bird keeps saying target acquired every time I pick up a coffee mug. It's unnerving.
I can interface with the parrot. I can upload a new vocabulary database. Perhaps classical literature.
I tried that. He just started quoting Shakespeare at the mailman. The mailman was confused when the bird asked, to be or not to be, before biting his finger.
You know, I miss having kits. In my old dimension, the animals were glitchy. You'd pet a dog and your hand would clip through its head.
That sounds messy.
It wasn't messy, just disconcerting. But here, the physicality is amazing. I love the puppies. Cosmo and the puppies. They're so round.
Round as balls. But you have to be careful. If you drop one, they bounce. We lost a puppy in the rafters for 3 days because he bounced too high.
I retrieved that puppy. I deployed my extendo arms. The puppy was dusty but unharmed.
You are a hero, Roboskinner. A true hero. Finally.
You know, Roboskinner, seeing you like this, calm, helpful, it really makes me think about the nature of change.
Change is inevitable. Software updates are mandatory. But emotional updates, those are optional. I chose to install them.
That is profound. Write that down, Gary. Put in your rock journal.
It is a geological field notebook, Seymour, not a diary. And I don't write down robot philosophy in it. It's strictly for stratification data.
You know, Gary, Roboskinner has actually gotten into geology too.
Diaz, really?
Affirmative. I have been analyzing the mineral composition of the Memafield soil. Did you know there is a high concentration of magnesium in the backyard?
Magnesium. I suspected as much. That explains the localized gravity distortions near the shed.
Oh no, now they're gonna talk about dirt. Climmers, save me.
I can't. I love it when they geek out. It's cute.
It's not cute, climbers. It's science. So, Roboskinner, tell me, have you analyzed the erratic boulders near Swampy's place?
I have. They are metamorphic, but with traces of binary code embedded in the strata.
Fascinating. Code-based erosion?
While you two discuss rocks that know how to code, I want to bring up something else. The yip. Whoop.
Ah, the local vintage.
I was thinking, since we are all here, we should crack open a bottle to celebrate.
I cannot consume liquid, but I can analyze the bouquet.
That's the spirit. I'll go get the glasses.
Nice, thanks, you know, Gary. Seeing you in Seymour, it gives me hope.
Hope from what? Hope for what?
That even in a world as crazy as this, with the monsters and the aliens and the goats, that stability is possible. You two are the anchor.
We're just two men trying to keep a house standing, climbers, and trying to keep Seymour from accidentally selling the house to a traveling wizard.
But that's what I mean. You endure. Roboskinner and I, we're just starting to figure that out. How to endure together.
You're doing a fine job. He respects you. I can tell. He listens to you. And for a Skinner variant, listening is a rare skill.
I heard that. My auditory sensors are very sensitive.
I know you heard it. It was a compliment. Take it. Nah.
Compliment accepted. Stored in long-term memory.
I'm back. I brought the vintage. It's a 2023 Red Screamer.
It smells like vinegar and desperation.
It needs to breathe, Gary. Like Mary the Swan needs to breathe. Well, she doesn't breathe. She just exists. But you know what I mean.
I'll have a glass. Why not?
That's the spirit. To us, to the roast, to MemedHamsAI.
To MemedHamsAI.
To MemedHamsAI.
To MemedHamsAI. To efficient social bonding protocols.
Close enough. Yes.
You know, this reminds me of the time we had the neighborhood block party. Remember? When Master Chief tried to grill.
He used a plasma grenade to light the charcoal, Seymour. We lost 3 picnic tables.
I heard about that. Was that before or after I arrived?
Just before. It was legendary. Shadow the Hedgehog was there, brooding in the corner near the potato salad.
Shadow is always brooding. I asked him why he is so sad. He told me I wouldn't understand the darkness within. I offered him a flashlight. He did not find it amusing.
That's actually funny, Roboskinner.
See? He's a comedian. We should get you a tight 5 minutes at the comedy club.
I have analyzed comedy. It is largely based on the subversion of expectations. For example, why did the chicken cross the road?
Why?
To escape the existential dread of being a flightless bird in a world dominated by apex predators.
That's dark and a bad joke.
I think it's hilarious.
It's savant, guy.
Speaking of crossing roads, has anyone seen Mr. Francis York Morgan lately? Zach?
Oh, Agent York. He dropped by last week. He was investigating a supernatural disturbance in our garden.
It was just Mr. Jellybeans fighting a lawn gnome.
York insisted the gnome was a vessel for an ancient spirit. He read my coffee grounds. He said I have a bright future filled with steam.
He's not wrong.
He's a charming fellow. He drank 6 cups of coffee and talked to his imaginary friend for an hour, then left.
I like Zach. He smells like rain and pine trees.
He's a good agent. We went through a lot with him in the final artwork series. Another time, we almost died.
We do have a habit of almost dying, don't we?
It keeps life interesting. If you're not almost dying, are you really living?
Yes, you are. I would like to try just living for a month. No near-death experiences. Just geology and weather reports.
Boring. We thrive on the adrenaline, Gary.
You thrive on the adrenaline. I thrive on the subsequent nap.
I do not nap. I enter power, save mode. It is very refreshing.
Oh, that reminds me. We have a question from Suhubites in the chat log. Dizenzo just flashed it on the screen.
What does it say?
Dear Skinner and Chalmers, if you were a type of rock, what type would you be? And asking for Roboskinner and Climmers, too.
Finally, a substantial question.
Go on, rock, man. You first.
I would be granite. Durable, common but essential, composed of multiple minerals working in harmony and very, very hard to break.
And very heavy. I would be pumice.
Because you're full of hot air and you float?
Because I am born of fire and I exfoliate. I am useful and lighthearted.
I think I'd be obsidian. Sharp, glassy, formed quickly under pressure.
I would be silicon. I am the basis of all modern computation. I am everywhere.
Good answers. Although Bites always asks the deep cuts.
We also have a comment from Shia Fox. He says, please tell Skinner to stop trying to rename the town square Skinner Plaza.
You're trying to rename the square?
It was just a suggestion. I put a sticky note on the town hall door.
Van Gogh probably ate the sticky note.
Then it is part of them now. My legacy lives on in the goat's digestive tract.
You know, Roboskinner and I were thinking of renaming our street.
We want to call it Binary Boulevard.
The city council will never approve that.
We have already hacked the GP satellites. It is done.
Do you act the jeeps?
It was a minor adjustment. Now anyone trying to find our house is routed to a car wash first. We believe in clean guests.
That explains why the pizza delivery guy was soaking wet last Thursday.
The pizza was soggy, but the box was very clean.
You two are incorrigible. I love it.
Well, we've been talking for a while. The tape is running low. Any final words of wisdom for our listeners? For deputies, kids, for life, for Laza, from Purpletonberry?
To all our friends listening in MemedHamsAI and beyond, remember, life is like a steamed ham. It might be grilled, it might be burnt, it might be an utter fabrication to hide your own incompetence. But if you share it with someone you love, it's delicious.
That was surprisingly coherent, Seymour.
I have my moments.
My advice: if you find yourself in a dimension that is being deleted, look for a portal. And look for friends who are crazy enough to jump through it for you.
My advice: update your antivirus software. And never trust a Roomba that whispers.
Wise words. Thank you, everyone. This has been the Weekly Roast. I'm Gary Chalmers.
And I'm Seymour Skinner.
I am Roboskinner.
And I'm Climbers.
Good night, Memifield. Don't let the bedbugs bite. Mostly because the bedbugs in this town are the size of chihuahuas and they have a union.
Good night. Good night.
Microphone fumbling noises implied by dialogue.
Did you turn it off, Gary?
I flipped the switch, Seymour.
It's still blinking red.
Allow me. Electric zap sound effect implied.
Ah, there we go. Silence.
Finally, pass the wine, Seymour, even if it tastes like screaming grapes.
Here you go, my love.